Life has a way of balancing itself, a force so precise that no one escapes its grip. Every action sends out ripples. Some bring fortune, others come back as destruction. And here's the raw, unfiltered truth. Those who throw thorns in your path will walk barefoot through a field of their own making. The universe doesn't ignore injustice, it magnifies consequences. The harder they push against you, the deeper they sink into the trap they built for someone else. Haters, critics, manipulators, call them what you want. They believe they can sabotage you, drag you down, rewrite your story with their lies. But they've forgotten one thing. When you try to bury something that was meant to rise, you only plant it deeper into the soil, where it takes root and grows stronger than ever. They mistake their attacks for power, but in reality, they are fueling your rise while setting fire to their own fate. Their obsession with your downfall is like a snake eating its own tail. A slow, painful self-destruction disguised as control. The universe has already aligned itself with your growth. Every time they tried to stop you, they unknowingly cleared the way for something greater. Every setback they thought they caused was actually a slingshot pulling back, ready to launch you further than they ever imagined. The irony: their hate made you untouchable. Their attacks sharpened you. Their jealousy proved that you have something they will never possess, the power of being chosen. And that power haunts them. It keeps them awake at night. They can't understand why nothing they do works, why every plan crumbles in their hands. They don't realize that by coming for you, they signed up for their own downfall. The truth is simple. No one fights against a force like you and wins. You're not here by accident. This message was meant to find you. Right now, forces beyond your control are shifting in your favor. The same people who tried to stop you, the ones who doubted you, are about to watch you rise in ways they never imagined. But this isn't just about proving them wrong. It's about stepping into the power that's always been yours. Before we dive deeper, take a moment to do 3 things. Hit that like button, subscribe to stand with other chosen ones, and drop a comment with "I am untouchable." This isn't just a message, it's a wake-up call. If you're truly chosen, you'll stay until the end, because deep down, you already know what's coming next. Let's get into it. Number 1. Never attack a chosen one, or what you send will crush you. The moment they choose to target you, they seal their own fate. They believe they are launching attacks, controlling the game, setting the pieces in motion. But they never realize they are walking straight into their own destruction. Every hateful thought, every deceptive move, every underhanded scheme they send your way doesn't just disappear. It multiplies, it intensifies, and it returns with a force they never saw coming. They think they're throwing stones at you, but what they're really doing is building the walls of their own downfall. The universe works on balance. What goes out must come back. But when they aim at someone like you, someone built differently, protected in ways they don't understand, that balance shifts in ways they never anticipated. It doesn't just return, it comes back amplified, stronger, heavier, and completely out of their control. They assumed their actions would weaken you, break you, keep you from rising. Instead, they became their own worst enemy. Because here's what they never understood. You are not just standing still and taking their hits. You are absorbing, transforming, and returning that energy in ways that destroy them from the inside out. It's not passive, it's not slow, it's immediate and unstoppable. Their jealousy, their lies, their schemes, all of it is wrapped in their own unresolved chaos. And when that energy bounces back, it doesn't just hit them, it consumes them. They are not just dealing with the damage they tried to cause you, they are battling their own insecurities, fears, and brokenness in their most extreme form. It's like setting a fire to burn someone else, only to realize you were standing in the gasoline the whole time. The more they fight, the harder they fall. They spiral deeper into their own mess, convinced they can outrun the consequences, convinced that if they just push harder, they'll finally break you. But what they don't see is that every move they make only accelerates their downfall. They are trapped in their own cycle, unable to escape the storm they created. Meanwhile, you keep moving forward, untouched, unshaken. While their world crumbles, yours expands. Every attack meant to bring you down only strengthens your foundation. Every attempt to stop you only increases your momentum. Their hate is your fuel. Their envy is proof of your power. Their downfall is the direct result of trying to fight against someone they were never meant to defeat. This is why you never have to retaliate. You don't have to play their game. The forces at play are bigger than them, bigger than their schemes, bigger than their ego-driven attempts to control what they never could. They fired the first shot, but they never realized they were shooting at a mirror. And now, they are the ones bleeding. Number 2, don't challenge divine justice. It will strike with precision. When they move against you, they believe they're in control. They plot, they scheme, they strategize, convinced that they are orchestrating your downfall. But what they don't see, what they refuse to see, is that every move they make is a step deeper into their own destruction. The universe doesn't act randomly. It strikes with precision. It hits where it hurts the most. And it never, ever misses. This isn't about karma in the way most people understand it. It's not luck, and it's not coincidence. It's a system, perfectly designed to restore balance. The same energy they use to attack you is the exact weapon that will dismantle them. Their own lies will expose them. Their own traps will bury them. Their own arrogance will be their undoing. And the best part, it will happen in ways so precise, so undeniable, that they will be left with no choice but to face the truth. They did this to themselves. They thought they were untouchable, that their power, status, or manipulation would shield them from the consequences. But here's where their downfall begins. They underestimated who they were dealing with. You're not ordinary. You're chosen. You're built differently. And when someone targets a chosen one, they don't just invite failure. They summon devastation upon themselves. The punishment is never random. It's personal. It's direct. It attacks exactly what they value most. If they built their life on control, they will watch everything slip from their grasp. If they thrived on deception, the truth will tear their world apart. If they relied on status, they will be reduced to nothing. They will lose everything in the exact way they tried to take from you. And you won't have to lift a single finger. You won't have to retaliate. You won't have to prove anything. The forces in motion don't need your help. The more they fight against what's coming, the worse it will be for them. Because once the universe decides their time is up, there is no escape. They could have walked away. They could have chosen peace. But they didn't. And now they will learn a lesson they will never forget. Number 3. Stop poisoning yourself. The chosen one is your antidote. You don't have to lift a finger. You don't have to fight, scheme, or stoop to their level. Your existence alone is enough to dismantle everything they stand for. They thrive on lies, manipulation, and deception. But you are a force they cannot control. You are the antidote to their poison, and that terrifies them. They cannot handle the power you carry. You don't even have to try. Your energy naturally exposes everything corrupt, fake, and twisted around you. Like sunlight breaking through a dark room, your presence forces shadows to scatter. It forces people to face their own flaws, their own fears, their own failures. And for those who have spent their entire lives hiding behind deception, this is the worst thing that could happen. That's why they come for you. Not because you've done anything wrong, but because your presence alone unmasks them. You make them uncomfortable not by attacking them, but simply by existing. They see in you everything they are not: strength, resilience, authenticity, and it enrages them. Their only instinct is to destroy you because deep down they know they could never be you. But here's where they fail. Every time they attack, they only expose themselves further. Their plans unravel, their lies surface, their own toxicity begins to eat them alive. They can't understand why nothing they do works. Why does their hate make you stronger? Why do their traps collapse beneath their own feet? Because you don't operate on their level. They are stuck in a game they were never meant to win. Every time they try to bring you down, they're only sinking deeper into their own chaos. It's like trying to poison a cure. The more they try, the weaker their own poison becomes. And in the end, you walk away untouched. They are left drowning in the mess they created, watching as everything they built crumbles into dust. Their downfall was never in your hands, it was always in theirs. The weight of their own hatred is what destroys them, and that is the truth they cannot accept. You never had to fight them. Your existence alone was enough to break them. Number 4, drop your obsession. Now, before it becomes your destruction. When someone fixates on a chosen one, they don't just become your enemy, they become their own worst nightmare. They think they're plotting against you, but in reality, they are setting themselves on fire while trying to burn you. Their obsession starts small: an envious thought, a bitter glance, a whispered lie. But soon it grows, and before they know it, you are the center of their world. They wake up thinking about you. They fall asleep consumed by thoughts of how to bring you down. Every move you make haunts them because deep down they know, no matter what they do, they can't stop you. Instead of building their own success, they waste their energy watching yours. They don't see their own opportunities slipping through their fingers because they are too focused on trying to sabotage yours. But here's where the real irony kicks in. Their obsession does nothing to you, but it destroys them from the inside out. Their thoughts become clouded with rage. Their decisions become reckless. They start neglecting their own life. Relationships crumble, careers suffer, their peace disappears. And the worst part? They can't stop. They are trapped in their own toxic cycle, spiraling further into their own misery. They thought they were fighting you, but they were really fighting themselves. Their own jealousy and insecurity are eating them alive. Every attempt to bring you down only drags them deeper into their own suffering. It's like standing in quicksand. The harder they struggle, the faster they sink. Meanwhile, you keep rising. Their hate has no effect on you. Their words can't touch you. Their plans fail before they even begin. And that's what truly destroys them. Not just that they couldn't defeat you, but that you never even needed to fight back. This is self-inflicted destruction, a slow, painful death of their own making. And the more they feed their obsession, the faster it consumes them. They could have focused on themselves, built their own life, chased their own success. But they chose to focus on you. And now, they are paying the ultimate price. Number 5. Think twice. Before you plot, God's trap is already set. They believe they're the ones in control, pulling the strings, setting the pieces in motion. They think they've outsmarted you, that their plans are foolproof, that they are the hunters, and you are the prey. But what they don't realize is that every step they take against you is just leading them deeper into their own downfall. Their arrogance blinds them. They mistake their temporary success for victory, but what they fail to see is that they were never in control to begin with. They're so focused on bringing you down that they don't notice the walls closing in around them. Every betrayal, every lie, every attack they send your way is just another brick in the trap they're unknowingly building for themselves. The most dangerous thing about their downfall, it doesn't happen all at once. The universe doesn't strike with sudden, obvious punishment. It's slow, it's subtle, it's calculated. They don't even realize what's happening until it's too late. At first, things seem to be working in their favor. Their confidence grows, their ego inflates. They convince themselves that they've won. But while they're busy digging a pit for you, they fail to see that they're standing at the edge of it. And the harder they push, the deeper they fall. Their plans start to unravel, their alliances crumble, their own people turn against them. They start losing everything: power, respect, influence, piece by piece, until there's nothing left. The irony? They did it to themselves. They weren't taken down by some outside force. They were destroyed by their own hands, by their own schemes, by the weight of their own arrogance. They thought they were breaking you, but all along, they were just writing the script for their own destruction. And you walk away untouched, stronger, wiser, elevated. Their attempts to stop you only propelled you forward. They fought against something they could never defeat. And now, all they can do is sit in the ruins of what they built, wondering where it all went wrong. But you already know. They played themselves, and they never even saw it coming. Number 6. Don't underestimate the invisible shields. You can't break them. They thought they were dealing with just another person, someone they could manipulate, sabotage, or control. But what they didn't realize is that you are not like the rest. The moment they chose to come for you, they walked into a battle they were never prepared for. They weren't just fighting you, they were fighting something far beyond their understanding. What they call luck is really an impenetrable shield they will never break. Every move they made against you, every plan they set in motion collapsed before it could even touch you. And they have no idea why. They don't see the unseen forces working overtime to block their every attack. They can't explain how every trap they set backfires, how every attempt to ruin you only pushes you forward. They assumed their hate, their jealousy, and their schemes would be enough to bring you down. But what they failed to understand is that you came into this world with a protection they can't see, can't touch, and will never understand. It's not just one layer of defense, it's a fortress built around you. Your energy rejects negativity before it even reaches you. Their hatred? Deflected. Their lies? Dismantled before they can take root. Their plans? Falling apart before they even begin. And this drives them insane. They can't stand the fact that nothing they do works. That no matter how much they plot, you remain untouched. They start to question everything. How does every door open for you when they tried to slam them shut? How do you keep rising when they worked so hard to hold you back? The truth is simple. They are fighting against something they don't believe in, something they don't even understand. The more they try, the worse it gets for them. Their energy is wasted, their frustration grows, and their failures multiply. Meanwhile, you walk forward effortlessly. You don't need to respond. You don't need to retaliate. Your very existence is enough to expose their weakness. They stepped into a battle they were never meant to win. And now, they're realizing that some doors are permanently locked against them, no matter how hard they bang. Number 7. Back off from the sacred, or you'll pay the ultimate price. There are some battles that should never be started, some lines that should never be crossed. But arrogance blinds people, making them believe they can get away with anything. When they come after you, they aren't just making a bad decision, they are signing their own downfall. You are not ordinary, you are not like the rest. You are chosen, and that makes you forbidden territory. They see you as just another person, someone they can manipulate, harm, or take down. But what they fail to realize is this: you are protected in ways they will never comprehend. Trying to destroy a chosen one is like walking into a lion's den, thinking you're the hunter. They don't realize they are the prey. Every attempt they make to harm you is a direct challenge to a force far greater than themselves. They step forward with bad intentions, unaware that they are stepping straight into a storm designed to tear them apart. This isn't superstition, it's law. The moment they act against you, they unleash consequences they will never be able to outrun. At first, it might feel like nothing is happening, but then, slowly, and then all at once, their world begins to fall apart. Their peace is the first to go. Sleepless nights, restless minds. Their own energy starts working against them. Then their relationships suffer. The people they trusted, suddenly distant. The things they relied on, crumbling beneath them. No matter what they do, everything starts slipping away. And before they even realize what's happening, they are drowning in their own chaos. They thought they were coming after you. They had no idea they were fighting a force they could never win against. The harder they push, the deeper they sink. Their plans backfire, their confidence turns into paranoia, and their victories turn into regret. They lose every single time. The irony: you never had to fight them, you never had to lift a finger, because the moment they came for you, they sealed their fate. This isn't about revenge, it never was. It's about balance. They trespassed where they should have never set foot, and now the price must be paid. Number 8. Beware. Destruction comes in layers, and you won't escape. When destruction comes for them, it doesn't happen all at once. It unfolds in stages, slow, relentless, and inescapable. At first, they won't even realize it's begun. They'll go about their days as if nothing has changed, still believing they are in control. But beneath the surface, the unraveling has already started. The first thing to go is their peace. Suddenly, their once calm mind becomes restless. Sleep evades them. No matter how much they try to ignore it, an unease lingers in their chest, growing heavier by the day. Their thoughts become a battlefield, consumed by paranoia, fear, and frustration. The same games they played, the same traps they set. They start to feel their own energy working against them. They can't sit still. They can't find relief. And the worst part, they don't even know why. But this is only the beginning. The next layer to fall apart is their relationships. The people who once stood by them begin to distance themselves. Friends become strangers. Trust dissolves. Their words no longer carry weight, and their influence begins to slip through their fingers like sand. The alliances they relied on cracked beyond repair. The people they manipulated now see through them. They built their world on deception, and now they are forced to face the consequences alone. And then comes the final blow. Their body and legacy start to crumble. Stress eats away at them, anxiety turns into sickness, and their physical health begins to deteriorate. The weight of their own actions manifests within them. Illness, exhaustion, and unexpected suffering follow them like shadows they can't escape. Their reputation, The power they once held begins to fade into nothing. The respect they once commanded turns into whispers of betrayal. Their name, once feared or admired, now means nothing. Each layer of destruction peels back another truth. They did this to themselves. They spent so much time plotting against you, tearing you down, poisoning your path, only to end up trapped in their own chaos. The slow, painful collapse isn't just a punishment. It's a lesson, one they ignored until it was too late. Now, there's no turning back, no escape. The more they fought against you, the faster they sped toward their own downfall. And while they stand in the ruins of their own making, you walk forward, untouched, untouchable. Number 9. The harder. You push, the deeper you sink. Stop now. They think they're fighting you, but in reality they're fighting against something far greater. They push, they scheme, they try to twist reality to fit their desires, but all they're doing is tightening the noose around their own neck. The more they resist, the more they suffer. The more they attack, the deeper they sink. It's like running in quicksand. Every struggle only pulls them down faster. They believe they're in control, that their manipulation, their deception, their hate will somehow rewrite the outcome. But the universe has already made its decision. Their attempts to harm you are not just failures. They are weapons turning against them. They are throwing punches at a wall of steel, and with each hit, it's their own fists that shatter. They may think they're gaining ground, but in reality, they are the ones being destroyed. Their obsession with stopping you is eating away at them from the inside. Their peace is the first to go. Restless nights, anxious thoughts, an unshakable sense that something is wrong. Then, their relationships begin to suffer. People pull away, alliances break, and they find themselves standing alone, abandoned by those who once stood with them. And still, they keep pushing. Their mind starts working against them next. Stress, paranoia, fear, it all begins to take root. They lose focus. They make reckless decisions. They become their own worst enemy. But by the time they realize what's happening, it's too late. The damage is done. The rope they pulled tighter and tighter has now completely trapped them, leaving them with no escape. Here's the cruelest part. All of this could have been avoided. If only they had walked away. If only they had let go of their hate. If only they had accepted that some people, chosen people, cannot be stopped. But their arrogance wouldn't allow it. Their ego blinded them. And now they are paying the price. Meanwhile, you keep moving forward. Their attacks didn't stop you. Their hate didn't slow you down. If anything, it made you stronger. And as you rise, they fall, faster, harder, and more painfully than they ever imagined. Number 10. You're not fighting a person, you're battling the unstoppable. They think this is about you. They think you are the obstacle, the one standing in their way. In their arrogance, they believe that if they can just break you, silence you, or remove you from the picture, they will win. But what they fail to understand is that they are not fighting a person. They are fighting something far bigger, something far beyond their reach. They don't see the forces at play. They don't realize that from the moment they chose to move against you, they were already doomed. This isn't just a battle of strategy or strength. It's a collision of ignorance against an unstoppable force. They assume they can manipulate, deceive, and control the outcome. But every move they make only exposes their weakness. Every scheme they plot only drags them deeper into the mess they created. They are throwing punches in the dark, unaware that every hit they try to land is absorbed, redirected, and sent back at them with 10 times the force. They thought they were playing a game of chess, but they never realized they were just a pawn in a game they couldn't see. The very moment they set their sights on you, They triggered a process they couldn't stop. They are fighting against a plan that was already in motion long before they even knew your name. Their downfall isn't a possibility, it's a guarantee. The harder they try, the deeper they sink. The more they resist, the faster they unravel. They assumed you were standing alone. They assumed their power, their influence, their deception would be enough. But they made one critical mistake. They underestimated what they were up against. This was never just about you. This was about something far greater than them, something that cannot be outmaneuvered, outsmarted, or overpowered. And when the dust settles, when their plans collapse, when everything they built on lies and deceit crumbles beneath them, they will finally realize the truth. They were never battling you. They were battling something far bigger, and that's a war they were never meant to win. Number 11. Resist the chosen, and you'll be forced to face your own darkness. Your presence alone is a force. You don't have to say a word, make a move, or lift a finger. Just existing is enough to shake people to their core. When a chosen one enters a room, energy shifts. The masks people wear start to crack. The truth they've been running from suddenly stands in front of them like a reflection they can't escape. You are a walking mirror. Not just any mirror, one that exposes the very things people try to hide, even from themselves. Their insecurities, their fears, their lies, their hidden weaknesses. It all comes to the surface. Some people will take this as an opportunity to grow. Others, it will destroy them. See, for those who are ready to change, your presence is a wake-up call. They see your strength, your confidence, your unshakable energy, and deep down, they know they have to step up. You force them to acknowledge the things they've been avoiding. Their laziness, their dishonesty, their envy, it all gets dragged into the light. And once something is exposed, it can't be hidden again. But here's the thing, not everyone is strong enough to handle that kind of truth. Some people will take your presence as inspiration. Others, they will take it as an attack. Not because you did anything wrong, but because you made them see the reality they were too weak to face. They wanted to keep pretending, keep hiding, keep lying to themselves. But you made that impossible. So instead of growing, they fight back, they lash out, they attack. They try to make you the enemy because they can't handle the war happening inside their own mind. But this is a battle they were destined to lose. You don't even have to engage. Your energy alone forces the change. Whether they rise or fall is up to them. But make no mistake, once they've crossed paths with you, they will never be the same. You are the shift they never saw coming, and that's why they fear you. Number 12. Don't mistake. Delay for escape. God's timing is inescapable. They think they have time. They think they've won. That their tricks, their games, their manipulations have set them ahead while you struggle in the background. But what they fail to realize is this. The clock is ticking, and it's not on their side. The universe doesn't move on their schedule. It doesn't respond to their arrogance. It operates on a timing so precise that no one, not the powerful, not the schemers, not the liars, can escape its reach. The moment they decided to go against you, their fate was already sealed. Every plan they set in motion was just a countdown to their own collapse. They see temporary success and mistake it for a permanent victory. They think they've escaped consequences because they haven't felt them yet. But what they don't know is that the quiet before the storm is not peace, it's preparation. And when the storm finally hits, it won't come gently. It won't be gradual. It will be swift, brutal, and absolute. You don't have to chase revenge. You don't have to fight fire with fire. because every action they took against you is already working against them. They set this ending in motion the moment they chose to cross the wrong person. The patience of the universe is not a weakness, it's the calm before the chaos. A chance for them to stop, to rethink, to change. But if they don't take that chance, they will be forced to face what they created. No one escapes the truth. No one outruns consequences. Every lie, every betrayal, every time they tried to block your path, it will all come back to them in ways they never saw coming. And the irony? They won't even realize they lost until it's too late. Meanwhile, you keep rising. You move forward untouched. You don't beg for justice because justice is already at work. The world aligns itself with those who walk in power, and your power is undeniable. They thought they were taking you down, but all they did was accelerate their own downfall. Let them believe they're in control. Let them think they have time. Because when reality finally catches up to them, they will understand one final truth. Trying to stop a chosen one is the last mistake they will ever make. And just like that, their time runs out. They thought they could escape. They thought their actions had no weight, but reality always catches up. While they face the consequences of their choices, you rise, unstoppable, untouchable. Every attempt to hold you back only made you stronger. This is not the end. It's just the beginning of your greatest chapter. If this message resonates with you, take a stand. Hit that like button, subscribe, and comment, "I am unbreakable." Let the world see that the chosen ones are rising. Your path is set, your power is real, and nothing can stop what's coming.